we've got back day, baby. Oh, back day, let's go. When we did mistakes for our back versus when we fixed them. This video today, we're going to talk about how we can grow our back in the gym and outside of the gym. What do we have to do? How do we progress? And these are the exercises we found to be the most effective. Let's go. And now I'll be on the microphone explaining how to properly do the exercise. Vladi will be demonstrating. The first exercise is a heavy compound lift. We like to do it on the Smith machine because it's more isolated for the back. There's no swinging here. It's more back control. Lats are working. Here is the muscle group that we are targeting on the left with this exercise. Focusing on not pulling from the arms, but instead pulling with your scapula. Right here. Is extending and retracting back the scapula. Stretching, squeezing. And lastly, we're going to talk about rate of perceived exertion. How do you determine what weight to use on the machine? You do that by doing test sets. Go up to a certain weight, maybe 2 plates. If you can manage to get 8 reps easy, and you think you have 3 reps left in the tank, then obviously you're doing RP7, or you have 3 reps in reserve. If you have that much, that's a good range for muscle stimulus, but ideally you would want to increase it to 7 or 8, meaning you leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank, just as Vladi is doing right now. He's stopping at about RP8, means he can do 2 more reps. That's ideal for strength right now because we are progressively overloading. One tip is to always sit behind the bar against the weight at the racks. So if the bar and racks that way, going facing forward, then you need to be on the back side of the bar so that when you go underhand, it's much easier to unhook because you pull it up and just twist forward instead of having to do that awkward movement of unracking it like that with the wrists and then trying to fix the arms during the movement. You want to feel your wrist stable throughout the whole movement. That's why if you just do it reverse and then lock, you'll feel much more locked in and your hand is going to serve like a hook instead of having to pull with the forearms. Pull with the back, not with the forearms. The beauty of this exercise is that it is a compound movement, meaning that you're using more muscles, including the biceps, triceps, but mainly the back. After all, even though it's a compound movement, you want to isolate the back the most. And in the back, you're actually targeting the lower back, not the upper back. So that's why you're pulling all the way into the hips, elbows going behind the lower back. And of course, with each exercise, you want to aim for progressive overload. Damn, look at that pose. Wow. Progressive overload is achieved by either increasing the weight on a weekly basis with small incremental jumps, such as 2.5 kilograms, and aiming to do the same reps. If not, you can increase the reps, but keep the same amount of weight. As Mark is doing right now, he's upping the weight with 2.5, and then next week we have to increase it with another 5 kilograms on top. Woo. Are you trying to grow wider? You want to fly away with them lats? This is the exercise you want to be doing. Once we incorporated this exercise in our program, our lats started growing and we can fly away. You see that? And here we have how we set up the bench. It's going straight across to the handle. Grab the handle and then scapula is retracted. Look at that motion over there. Bam! And you pull down with the elbow to the hip. Nice. Perfect execution. Why we do this is a stretch at the top, making the lat wider and stretching the lower part of the lat right there. That's where you stretch on the way up, and as you contract, you squeeze right here. And on the next shot, I'll show you a quick tip that I like to do myself. Then you move the bench a little bit to the left and you grab the right side. What are you saying? I am very hungry. Please, give me the six-pack right now. What? I have to work for it? No way. Yes, enjoy the process, bro. For this specific exercise, we want a rep range from 12 to 15, and that's how we progress. Keeping the same weight, but increasing the reps. Second type of progression. And here is a chart of how to do it properly. By following this rep progression, you're guaranteed to grow a wider lats, because bigger size muscle means stronger muscle. Whereas inversely, if you have a stronger muscle, it actually doesn't mean that you have a bigger muscle. Well, we are bodybuilders and we are on a cut, so we need size. Hello, Mr. Biceps. Tell us, how do you grow so big? Mr. Biceps grows big by eating big and training it hard. With this exercise, I don't know if Marty explained it already, you don't want to lean back too much because you're going to use too much body weight. That's why relax the legs, and from here lean forward a little bit to the point where you can slightly tip over, and from there engage the back, pull in, and start pushing down all the way to the hips by keeping the back contracted throughout the whole movement. Squeeze. To be honest, this exercise is better performed on a laying bench. We'll show you this exercise on the bench in a few shots right here. And honestly, if you want to really get that good stretch, do it on the bench. It's very similar to the rider extension with a dumbbell, which was made famous by Arnold. But here we're using the rope instead of a dumbbell because we can have more contraction on the top part whilst on the bench. But this is a good alternative as well. Here we have a prime specimen in the gym of 2024. A person who is training hard and getting ready for a show but can't leave his fucking phone away. And this is the exercise we do to focus on back, lower back, getting that Christmas tree, popping for a nice lean back on stage. On the left you can see a picture of how lean we were last time, and now we're going to start working from 20 weeks before the show to get a better definition of the lower back so we can actually win this competition 100%. Tip here is to keep your back straight as you go down. Instead of bending over, you're going to use more of your glutes, but if you keep your back straight, you're focusing entirely on the lower back. Rep range, go to maximum rep range, and progression is going to be adding more reps or more weight. And now we've got a seated row. This movement here mimics exactly like the machine seated row. However, we feel like you can pull a bit more with the elbow in. And again, with this movement, you want to focus on getting above 12 reps, really squeezing that lower back because it's easy to pull with upper, but you want to focus on the lower. That's why you can see that he's crunching more on the side. Those are all the tips on how to progress for your lats. 4 different exercises with all different motions so you can grow your back in different directions and hit different muscle groups, as you saw in the video. We have progressive overload with weight, with reps. However, we missed why our back is not growing. And it's simply because of a lack of overall volume and intensity. Volume is the first key. Vlad and I, we had the worst bulk that we ever had so far because we gained from 105 kilograms to 115 kilograms, looking like absolute dog shit. Really not happy with the amount of fat that we gained. Purpose is we increased the calories too much and we simply didn't train with high enough volume because we were recovering, but our intensity and volume was not high enough for our lats to grow, to spread out. Basically, our lats are still like this. I was expecting our lats to be like that during the bulk, but they weren't. So now we have to catch up and increase the overall volume by having a hypertrophy program leading up to our show on the 8th of June. So stay tuned because this is episode 2 of our day in the life road to show. We'll see how we're gonna call it. Getting ready to get first place, baby. Follow us on Instagram because there you can see more insights, and follow us on YouTube so you can check all the useful and longer video tips that we can make here on this platform. Sayonara.